Gordon, President Trump is in Poland today on his way to the summit of international leaders at the end of the week. One of the key topics will be dealing with the nuclear missile threat from North Korea. Gary Lane has the story.
A warm welcome and red carpet treatment for President Trump and the First Lady as they arrived in Poland. Making a stop in Warsaw before the G20 summit in Germany was largely symbolic. The president firming up an alliance of shared goals and ideals and sending a strong message to Germany and Russia. The United States will stand by its like-minded friends. One topic overshadowed Trump's Poland visit, and it is likely to dominate upcoming discussions with Russia President Putin in Germany. North Korea and its growing threat to the United States and its East Asian allies.
President Duda and I call on all nations to confront this global threat and publicly demonstrate to North Korea that there are consequences for their very, very bad behavior.
As Americans celebrated the 4th of July, Kim Jong-un launched another missile. This one his first ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile that could reach the United States. Eric Rosales is CBN News national security correspondent.
Or Eric, can it hit Hawaii, maybe the West Coast?
Yeah, that's what they're thinking right now. They're debating on whether or not it could actually hit the West Coast, such as Los Angeles, but Alaska is the biggest issue right now. And then from that, actually, the Hawaiian Islands is another issue that we have to be concerned about.
President Trump criticized China for not doing more to stop the missile launches and North Korea's advancing nuclear program. In fact, the launch vehicle used in Tuesday's launch is believed to have been supplied by China. So what can the United States do to eliminate the North Korea missile threat to its homeland? Anthony Ruggiero of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracy says the U.S. has more options than just military ones.
Let's go after all of the networks of Chinese companies that are working with North Korea. Let's just do that immediately. And that would start to have an impact on North Korea. At a minimum, it would start to hurt the regime.
Gary Lane, CBN News.
Activists gathered outside the British Embassy in Washington, D.C. yesterday for a vigil dedicated to 11-month-old British baby Charlie Gard. A UK court told his parents they could not bring him to the U.S. for an experimental treatment for a rare condition called mitochondrial disease and said their child should die with dignity instead. Reverend Patrick Mahoney, who organized the vigil, says parents have a right to fight for their children's lives.
Shouldn't parents have the right to decide what is best for their children? And Charlie, sadly, we're seeing this all over the world. This is a global issue, particularly in developed countries, that we are seeing hospitals, courts make decisions for parents.
Both Pope Francis and President Donald Trump have offered to help young Charlie. With summer in full swing, you might think your children will be safe in the pool as long as they know how to swim. But one family is speaking out about the need for pool safety after tragically losing their 6-year-old son to an unknown danger in the pool. Abigail Robertson brings us more on this story.
Pool season is officially here, but before you jump in the water, you might want to heed some unexpected warnings.
We had no idea that this danger lurked in our own backyard pool.
Karen Cohn and her husband thought they had done everything possible to protect their kids from drowning. But when their 6-year-old son Zach's arm got caught by drain entrapment, their worst fears came to life.
His arm became stuck, and despite my husband and other adults trying to release him, the suction was just too strong and we couldn't get him out.
Drain entrapment occurs when the suction from a pool or spa drain forcefully traps the body, creating an effect similar to putting your hand on the end of a vacuum cleaner. A pool or hot tub with a single drain can create between 450 to 900 pounds of suction force.
The suction is so strong, it's hundreds of pounds of pressure. So an adult can become stuck as well and not be able to release him or herself. So it's not just about children.
And it's not just the body. Hair can become caught in a drain cover, limbs can get stuck in drain openings, and jewelry and bathing suits can become snared. Since the tragedy, the Cohns are on a mission to preach water safety through their foundation named in honor of Zach. One key warning: beware of flat pool drains. Instead, swim in pools with raised drains or drain covers.
What's most important is that if a drain cover comes loose or is off, that pool should be closed.
Federal law requires public pools to use these safer models, but that only accounts for 2% of the pools in the U.S.
There are 14 million additional pools and spas throughout the country that are privately owned, and those are governed by the state.
Karen says some states have strong laws, but others are weak. She recently came to Capitol Hill to discuss with lawmakers how to make all pools safer for swimmers. She also wrote a children's book with her husband that outlines the A, B, C, and D's of water safety: adult, barrier, classes, and drains.
Children should know how to dial 911, and families should take a CPR class. It's very important because statistics show that if CPR is administered right away after a drowning occurs, it can actually save lives.
Karen hopes that sharing her family's tragic story will help prevent future children from drowning. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.